just isn't a year. No, you're right, it's not. I'm really worried now about this whole civil war business, because we have fuck all in the way of troops, and the little mini split-off nations like the syndicalists and the Union State will start off with probably even more troops than we do, which is not good. But hopefully we'll get some events that will give us some stuff, because otherwise we're fucked. How much do we need to purchase license units? 4,000 money. Well, that's not going to happen anytime soon, is it? Damn. Although we do have 9 IC now as opposed to the 5 we had before, so that's nice, I guess. Maybe we can start researching something. 1936 infantry, possibly. Is that really worth it? Should we not maybe research a land doctrine? Oh, we can't do that yet because... Oh wait, no, we can. Year 1937. Those aren't particularly useful either, in all fairness. Logistics 1936. That would be pretty useful, actually. Yeah, let's go with that. What do we need for it? Bunch of stuff. Thankfully, being America, we have quite a lot of very skilled tech teams, so that's kind of cool. Harvard University. You can do it. Go, go, go. How much are we paying them? 1.16 each day. Crikey, that's a lot more than I'm used to as Russia. End of the Olympics. After all, everything ends. So do the Olympics. We won many medals in various disciplines. Life is good when you're number 1. National descent changed by -3%. Hooray! $13 in consumer goods now, which is good. Which will be generating even more monies. Although we're losing... why are we losing money like that? That's annoying. I bet it's fucking spy business. The death of Alexander Berkman. Today the writer, American leader of the anarcho-syndicalist movement and would-be assassin in Alexander Berkman, passed away after losing his battle with his prostate condition. His body will be taken back to his hometown of Vilnius, Lithuania, for his funeral. He was the leader of the syndicalism movement in the Americas, and the movement suffers a major setback with this departure. National descent changed by +1. The anarcho-syndicalist torch passes on to John Jack Reed. Apparently. This is of no significance to me, however. Gone with the Wind. Margaret Mitchell published today her novel Gone with the Wind, which immediately received wide support and is maybe the next Pulitzer Prize. Set in the Old South during the American Civil War, many saw it as a reminder of the strained political situation in the United States. Many America First Southerners claimed the novel was supporting their cause. National descent is changed by -1%. My dear, I don't give a damn. Yeah, indeed. I'm going to actually have a look at the intelligence screen, and I don't want to turn it off exactly, but let's edit default settings, perhaps. No. Let's have a look at targets. Commune of France 0 still, German Empire 12, which is okay I guess, Japan 0, Union Britain 0. I think for now, because our money situation's in a not a particularly good state, I will remove all countries from the targets list, and therefore hopefully we won't constantly lose money from the game auto-sending spies to other countries. And hopefully we can build up a decent reserve of cash that way. The 4th of July. Independence Day, also known as the 4th of July, celebrations took place today across all the country. Mostly everyone has set aside their political differences to celebrate the traditions of the United States with fireworks, parades, barbecues, beer, picnics, baseball games. And baseball games, it should say, really. National descent changed by -1%. We shall celebrate the democratic ideals. Very well. Detroit Red Wings win the 36th Stanley Cup. The Detroit Red Wings have swept the Toronto Maple Leafs for the Stanley Cup, returning her back to Hockeytown, where she belongs. The games were held during a time of great unrest, but for a day, the people weren't rioting over political differences, they were rioting over the championship. National descent changed by -1%. My brother plays ice hockey, actually. I think he supports the Red Wings. Just an interesting little bit of trivia there. That's the extent of all my ice hockey knowledge, mind you. Edward the... hang on a minute, 5, 6, 7, 8th sends a letter to MacArthur. Internal problems in the US have led King Edward VIII and Prime Minister King to ask the man behind the strongest political environment in the US, the Army, in private. In a private letter, Edward VIII has said that he wants stability for America, and he doesn't view putsch to save America. This is really badly written, this is. And he doesn't view a putsch to save America as something which Canada would not... Okay, hang on, let me just try and translate this. Edward VIII has said that he wants stability in America, and he would potentially support some sort of putsch or military coup by the army in America. The letter emphasizes the solidarity between Canada and the US in these dark times. National dissent has changed by -2%. Uh-oh, says the box. Indeed. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen, to be honest with you now, actually. I don't know. I don't think you can avoid the Civil War at all. But like I said, I've not played this before as the US, so I have no idea how the events pan out and shit like that. So, in fact, I'm going to drop a save, just to be on the safe side. In case we get ambushed by some message box with a multiple choice that may lead me to ruin if I pick the wrong thing. Also, alright, no. Everything's cool. Everything's cool. Yeah, we've got 400 or so money now, which is good, because I've stopped all the spying nonsense. What? Russia declared war against Trans-Amur. Trans-Amur. Where the fuck is Trans-Amur? Oh, it's these guys down here. Hang on a minute, they're a puppet of Japan. Russia, have you done something very stupid? Yes, you have. Now Japan is at war with Russia. This should be interesting. I've never seen that happen before. Well, they're beating the crap out of the Reds, though, at least. So that's good news, I suppose. But I don't really fancy losing an ally to the Japanese. Actually, come to think of it, how do the Japanese view us? +16, so generally fairly indifferent. Slightly positive. I suppose that's not too bad. Maybe we can make an ally out of the Japanese if we're really desperate. That'd be interesting. Yeah, the Qing Empire hate us. The Allgemeine Ostasiatische Gesellschaft hate us. Yunnan Clique hate us. Siam aren't fond of us. Burma doesn't like us. The Dutch like us, though. For what that's worth. And that's worth precisely nothing. Really. And the Australasian Confederation, and for some reason in Kaiserreich they decided that as a result of the British Empire collapsing or whatever, that New Zealand and Australia would unite as a single country, which seems utterly daft in my opinion. I can't see any reason for that having happened, but there it is. Yeah, they're authoritarian democrat. Again, they can go off on a whole bunch of different routes, the Australians, actually. Apparently, I think there's one route where they can elect sort of a bunch of fascists to the government and completely leave the Entente and stuff like that. Again, I've never played as Australia ever in Hearts of Iron. Maybe it'd be a bit of a hilarious thing to do at some point. But they like us, so that's okay. Let's have a look at what's going on in Russia. Yeah, the Reds are getting the snot beaten out of them, which is good. They've even lost Petrograd, so they do still have Moscow, mind you. One of our ministers has died. Oh no. Our nation mourns as one of our ministers passed away. Even now. Oh, we've got a lot of dying ministers at the minute. George H. Dern. And I swear to God, he already died. I could be wrong. J. Edgar Hoover. Yeah, everyone I still remember appointing is still there. I think, yeah. Anyway. Charles Curtis, QS chance -2%, IC -5%. He's a bit rubbish then. And Edgar Hoover, unpopular president is his trait type. So that's not good, is it? Descent growth rate +5%, manpower growth -3%, peacetime stockpile +5%, IC -3%, consumer goods need +5%, peacetime belligerents -0.5 per month. Belligerents required to declare war +30%, units organization regain -5%. So he's a big old useless shit, Herbert Hoover. Basically. Oh, yep, commies are getting crushed. That's what I like to see. The Great Heat Wave is over. People from Vancouver and Los Angeles to New York and Washington, D.C. have let out a sigh of relief as the Great Heat Wave of 1936 has come to an end. A cold front has spread over North America. The estimated death toll reached is 5,000 as the deadliest natural disaster of the 20th century in the United States comes to a close. But while the heat wave ends, a new chapter in American history is about to begin. National descent changed by -1%. At least it's over. We've got a lot more IC now, actually. We've got 46 IC. That's ridiculous, actually. A day in September. Here we go. Oh, this is where shit kicks off, people. This is September 3rd, 1936, by the way. The social and political consensus in American society is broken down, and the current presidential election campaign is like nothing we have ever seen. The America First Union Party is organizing right-wing militias in the South and Midwest, and communists control the streets of Chicago and Detroit. Senior military commanders believe that it may be necessary to cancel the election and suspend the Constitution if we are to avoid complete social breakdown. Oh, okay, so we can invite the military to step in and save the country and basically have a military coup d'etat, which will put Douglas MacArthur in charge of the United States, or the elections must go ahead. And no, we'll go ahead with the elections. I don't particularly fancy that, to be honest with you. Yeah, no. Although our peacetime IC modifier will change by +20%, I suppose, which is okay, I guess. But nope, we'll go ahead with the elections. How much money do we get a day? 15 a day. That's not too bad, actually. Maybe we can do a bit more research. If we clicked on the research screen, that would help, you know. 1936 infantry. Who's good at this shit then? Colt Manufacturing Corporation. Industrial. Assembly lines, experimentation. Well, no, not really. At least we've got all the industry techs already. That's good, I suppose. Basic computing. Agriculture, 1937. I suppose that'd be quite good. Right, who could do is agriculture? Union Carbide. Go. Land doctrines, maybe? No. Naval, aircraft? No. It's all kind of stuff that's a bit useless for us right now. Although maybe some interceptor fighter stuff could be quite useful. Should I come to think of it. Yeah, someone do that. It might give us an edge over the other Civil War factions. Not much of an edge, but a little one at least. Edward Rickenbacker. Go. Basic computing, I suppose. IBM. Who the fuck else? Okay, we've almost got 1,000 monies now, which is nice. And our descent is down to 8%, which is also nice. Whether that will affect the elections and shit, I don't know. We shall see. Lots of events popping up in the bottom there, actually. Not managing to read all of them, though, I'm afraid. Oh, yep, the Reds are being screwed over in Russia. Oh, God, the Japanese are taking a huge bite out of Russia's backside. That's kind of hilarious, I guess. Oh, what the devil happened there? Did the Ruskies declare peace with the Japanese? What the devil? Okay, in a war together with Transformer versus the German Empire, Russia, Ukraine, oh my goodness, what the hell? German Empire in a war together with Russia, Ukraine, White Ruthenia, Lithuania, United Baltic, Duchy, and Flanders, Wallonia versus Soviet Russia, and against Japan. So, the Germans and Russians have teamed up against Japan and the Soviets. Interesting. It's probably why the Soviets are losing so fucking badly, actually. What are the Finns doing? Yeah, they've got a peace treaty with Russia, so they're okay with that. They sorted that out fairly sharpish, just as well. Interesting. So, yeah, it's Japan versus Russia and Germany. Never seen that happen before. We'll see what the fuck happens. Socialist Republic of Italy declared war on the Italian Federation. Oh, blimey. Not seen this happen before either. Russia annexed Soviet Russia. Woo! Good. Good. Although I'm worried about Russia ending up on Germany's side now as a result of all this. Because that would kind of suck. Well, I don't know, maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. I think them being on Germany's side would probably result in France losing the war. That much I know. Socialist Republic of Italy versus the Italian Federation. Alright, the Italian Federation have way more IC than the Socialist Republic of Italy, but I don't know how they compare militarily. Okay, the 1936 US presidential election. The results are finally in from what has probably been the most ideologically contested presidential election in the United States has ever witnessed. This is probably not the end of our problems, you don't fucking say. But for the time being, victory goes to John Nance Gardner, Democrat, Charles Curtis, Republican, Huey Long, America First Party, and Jack Reed, Combined Syndicates of America. Ooh. I think... I think I'll go with the Democrats, just because... I mean, we can't have FDR, I don't think, as president, obviously. For some reason, he is non-existent as far as the Kaiserreich timeline is concerned, after losing in whenever it was. But John Nance Gardner, Charles Curtis... Choosing Charles Curtis will decrease national dissent by 1% for some reason, which is interesting. We'll go with the Democrats, I think. Just because the Democrats were obviously in power in real life at this kind of a period, and then I don't know, maybe they're better somehow because they won the war in a sense. I don't know. It's kind of... it makes no difference anyway, because the Civil War will happen anyway, so... November 4th, 1936, and given how unpopular freaking... what's-his-face, Hoover was, I can't imagine the Republicans would win this election in real life, but anyway. Major worker strike. Somewhere national dissent change by plus 3%, that's annoying. Another random event. New technology developed, rear area supply dumps. Woo! How much money are we making a day? 32. That's okay then. So we can officially afford proper research now, which is nice. What next, eh? Tanks, I suppose. Halt Caterpillar. Is that our best? Really? Maybe we'll